No, so Soul came in, and I remember people like we weren't really like talking because like you know how like new kids come in, you don't know how long they're gonna
Yeah.
last,
Yeah.
and
And she
she
had
was
come
like
from a
this.
wrestling background, so yeah.
Right. Right. So at that time we were just getting those athletes and like all of us indie wrestlers, like we weren't like spiteful, but we were like, what did she do? Like gymnast, cool. What did she
Yeah.
do? Whatever. And I remember seeing her in training. She had like the most beautiful front flip bump ever. And then excuse my language, but I was like, this
Yeah.
bitch. Like, must be nice to be her. And I remember like a piece of me being so jealous that I wasn't able to do like cool flippy stuff. Um, and then like we kind of would just talk like at like the practice matches and things like that. We would just, hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Like we'd be in class, we'd like joke around and do like small, like like we're in class, let's communicate. And then there was one day that we were on TV. I think it was right before me and hers match on TV.
Yeah.
And oh no, it was live events, when we would go to live events. And I remember having something in my locker, and I was like, "Hey, will you come up to the locker room with me? I gotta get something out of my locker." And she's like, "Yeah, sure." Walk up to the locker room. I open my locker, grab a bag of chips out. As soon as I close the door, she's like, "This." I'm like, "No, no, you didn't. Like, like, why would you even do that?" I was like, "You could have asked. We had snacks downstairs. I have a whole bunch of snacks in my locker." So we were just like joking around. I think from there we got closer, and then I tore my ACL, and by that time we had already started making TikToks together, and
Yeah.
I think we had just started like going to coffee shops and stuff together. It was very like I think we're gonna be friends type situation. And at that moment I had just met her boyfriend at the time. And so we like all I think we all like went out and did or we all did something. It was like I don't say a Christmas party, but it was like some type of WWE party that we had where family
Yeah.
could come to the show, you could eat, and we were all joking around there. So I tear my ACL and I come back home to Missouri. And we were talking a little bit, but I was like more friends with like Lyra and Kaylee and Piper and all them.
Yeah.
And as I come back, I remember her and I were just joking around. She was like, "You left me," and I was like, "You didn't even call me when I was gone. Like we're not friends." And I remember she got into a car accident. So I was like the first one she called. So I'm over here walking my dog with a knee brace on, trying to like crutch my way to her car
Yeah.
accident. She's crying. It was me, her, Danny Palmer, and our coach AJ at the time. That was all there for her. And she came up to me one day and she was like, "Hey, like when you tore your ACL, did it feel this way or did it feel like this?" And I'm like, "Oh, like I think you're fine. Like you don't have any symptoms that I did. Like my knee was locked out. Like I just whatever." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Just go get an x-ray, see what happens." She's like, "Oh, I have one, in a couple of days." Next time I see her, someone's like, "Hey, sold in medical, crying. You might want to go in there." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I walked in there and that's when she found out she tore her ACL. And that day, I think her and I went to like an arcade and the movies. And I think that at that moment, our best friend, like, title just automatically turned on. We
Yeah.
would go see horror movies all the time, we would make TikToks all the time, we'd be drinking coffee together. Like, we were inseparable to the point where our rehab times at the PC were at the same time. They were like, "Cameron, when can you come to rehab?" And I was like, "I would do 9, but Soul doesn't come in until like 10 because she wakes up late." I was like, "So let's do 10." Then she'd be late and they'd be like, "Have you talked to Soul?" And I was like, "No." And then that's also when she started talking to her current boyfriend, Tyler. So she was in the
Yeah.
area more. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've had like a very interesting friendship
Yeah.
blossom.